All right, let's go. Let's go. Hold on, I got a cord mess here. All right, let's get this together. Oh, I don't have those lights on. It's a little dark. Hold on a second. Let me turn on these other lights. There. All right, that's a little bit better. How are we doing on this fine, what is it? Is it Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. Huh? I do believe it's Wednesday. I mowed grass for 2 hours this morning. The Panthers didn't do anything. Not my fault. How are we doing? Bucks Rays, Damien, Colby, Simon, Mythical. How's everybody doing? I have not met any of the presidents. No, have not. Hey, Mike. Hungry. How is everybody doing today? Hot, humid, hot. That's what we got, man. That is what we got. Deborah, appreciate that. Is it Deborah or Deborah? I want to make sure. Is it the first one or the second one? I've heard it pronounced both ways. Simon, haven't been to the gym today, and I did not get fishing today either. I'm hoping for Friday. Friday is definitely the hope. Hey, Chris, greetings from Germany. Can't wait for the schedule to see who the Panthers are playing against in April when you're back into 305 for 2 weeks. All right. Very cool. Very cool. All right, Deborah, appreciate that. So, hopefully the schedule gets better from where it started, right? Hopefully the schedule gets better from where it started. Obviously, opening night, opening afternoon, somewhat disappointing. But hey, at least we're raising another banner, right? So I'm curious to see, got lots to see. First off, I got to check how many of the stinking Dolphin games conflict with Panther games. Frank, hot and humid, you have no idea. Your Marvel stuck to my wall. Coley says I had a bad dream that the first matchup we had against the Habs, we lost 10-1. Yeesh. That is a bad dream. Hungy says, looks like that was an ESPN decision. Why do we give the freaking why do they get so much say? Like, do the fans get anything they want? No, we're going to be doing the unboxing tomorrow. I'm just not sure if it's going to be on the noon stream or if it's going to be tomorrow night. I got to wait to see what's going to go on if we're going to go to the auction or not. Kyle was up till like 3 last night, so who knows? All right, Colby, I'll check it out. Geez, Great White, it gets brutal here, man. Yeah. Like, I mean, a normal summer day sounds mild for Florida. So like a normal summer day is like 87 with the lowest 77. But since I'm right on the bay, basically, I mean, give or take, we get so humid here. We get the afternoon thunderstorms come right off the bay. And then in the morning as the sun comes up, it just like all that moisture from overnight, we cook. We just like cook in a slow cooker, like the chicken soup I got cooking right now. But then we always get like 1 week a year where we'll get like between 95 and 105 for a whole week. And I go bowling? Yeah. My grandfather liked to go bowling. I went bowling from time to time, but I wasn't like on any bowling teams or anything. Hungry, yeah, the broadcasters have too much power, right? Devils are playing Panthers for their home opener. Is that right? I guess so. I guess everybody's home opener, right? So, yeah, I'll have to look at that. Yeah, Vincent Stillo. Your favorite player is Sam Miskevich. My favorite young player is Sam Miskevich, but I still kind of like Forsling, because Forsling, you could basically run him over with a truck and they would just reel him into the locker room and they just bring out a new one. So I'm grateful for that. Hey, Colin. Zuma says the decisions Bettman makes shows why the NHL will not be a top 3 in ratings. It's like he tries to sabotage the sport. I mean, I guess for ESPN, all they care about is the ratings, right? So just by sheer numbers, of course, New York versus Pittsburgh is going to have more viewers. But it should have been, if it would have been Florida versus Boston, maybe we would have gotten the prime time spot. UPS lost your Barkov jersey? Jeez. Start a GoFundMe to get to opening night. We're trying to come for a whole month in January. We're trying to come in the middle of January to the middle of February, and then work, keep doing the streams and everything else during that. Yeah, that's the interesting thing. You guys are all saying, I should compare it to Florida. Why am I complaining about Maryland? Have you not considered the fact that I grew up in Florida and I know what heat and humidity is? And I'm telling you, you wouldn't know it because it doesn't have a reputation. But I would rather be weather-wise anywhere in South Florida when it's hot and humid versus what you get here. Because at least there, number one, your body's more acclimated to it. And number two, if you live close enough to the water, you get the ocean breeze, at least a few miles in. It's different it's different here. We get a breeze coming off the bay, but it's like a breeze coming off of Lake Okeechobee. It's just schmutz, straight schmutz. Hey, David. Tonight's the ESPYs. Do I prefer the hot or cold? Fall. High is 65, low of 45. Just give me that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. How far am I from the ocean? Ocean City is about an hour and a half that way. It's about an hour and a half that way. But the bay is about a mile that way. So we don't get the ocean breeze. We get the bay breeze. And it's not the same. It's just not. Deborah, you agree about Forsling, or are we talking about the weather? Jameson, how we doing, bud? I get far behind on the chat, so by the time you guys are responding and I'm seeing it, half the time I don't know what I was talking about anymore. Because like Vincent says, I'm old. Dave says, Sasha's your favorite, but you think Bob is most important. Agreed. Yeah, absolutely. Do I think Evan Rodriguez will get traded or not? I think we're just waiting to find out about Kachuk's LTIR situation. If Chucky goes on LTIR, we don't have to move him. He's actually on LTIR. So it's just a matter of if he's going to be out, how long. He's going to be out the whole season. And, of course, we're dealing with the Panthers, so they're never going to tell us until it happens. And nobody will ask either. Mike says, same, Jaws. I grew up in Florida, too. And let me tell you, Florida ain't got nothing on Texas. I bet. I bet. Yeah. I mean, if you live in the middle of the state in Florida, it can get pretty bad. But the ocean breeze, if you live in the first 5 miles inland, especially on the east coast of Florida, at least you get that afternoon ocean breeze most of the time to bring things down a little bit. Who do I think that will give the Panthers a challenge this year? Themselves. I think the challenge the Panthers will have this year is that last year they figured out that they could kind of coast through the regular season and make the playoffs. So it wouldn't surprise me if they coasted just a little bit more. And with Montreal and Ottawa, if they get better, you could see a situation where Florida could be, needing to win games towards the end of the year to make sure that we're in the playoffs. Especially with the amount of hockey we've played, the Olympics coming and going. Colby says, due to growing up here, if it's 96 and no humidity somewhere else, it feels like heaven. Hungry says, the reasoning very loosely used here is because ESPN wants a triple header for day one, so the Eastern game has to be the early game, which happens to be our banner race. That doesn't make – but I mean, the Rangers in Pittsburgh is the Eastern game too, right? That's the middle game, right? Pittsburgh's not on another time zone. Come back to Florida? Nah. I can't do it. Kyle don't like the heat, to say the least. So we're here. Yeah, exactly, Colby. Summer breeze makes me feel fine. Going through the jasmine in my mind. Hey, Mr. Shy Guy. I hope you Ranger fans, hope you guys have a better year. Last year was brutal. One minute, the Rangers are ahead of the Panthers 2-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals. 5 minutes later, you guys are blowing up the team. That had to suck. Yeah, Spaceman. They have to drag me out of here kicking and screaming. Oh, he says, wind out of the south for almost 2 weeks now. Luckily, it's been raining, but that stops tomorrow and we go from baked to broil. You agree about Forsling, Deborah? Yeah, David. When the wind was out of the south, that's when the big Spanish mackerel would come to the pier at Holliver. Yeah. They'd come down from the south and they'd think about going in through the inlet, Holliver Inlet, but then all the bait would be congregated around the pier. So if you casted far enough out on the south side of the pier, you catch 5-7 pound Spanish mackerel all day long when the wind was out of the south. Colby says over under. Panthers having 15.5 back-to-backs. Oh, that's close. I wouldn't be surprised at the over. That sounds about right. Hey, Kenneth. Yeah, with only 14 hours notice. Well, I figured that way we can be here for when they post the schedule, and then y'all can make fun of me putting on my glasses to read it. Yeah. Deborah says, my dream job for the future is being the assistant coach for the Panthers, but I have a lot of time. You're only 14. Yeah, well, hey, look. That's you got time to do it, right? It's better having a dream at 14 than getting a dream at 53. You're already starting to run out of time, right? You got plenty of time to take the steps that you would need to take to try to make something like that happen. Don't be like me. I was going to play professional baseball. And then I decided to go fishing instead. I would have been good enough If I could have ever learned how to throw the ball straight and stop swinging at every pitch, I would have been good enough to play center field. I was fast as hell. David, yeah, you're fortunate in that the ocean's about a mile away from your job and less from home, right? So definitely fall is my favorite season, Simon. Living here in Maryland, it's definitely my favorite season. Would I sacrifice a third straight cup if it meant the Dolphins won a Super Bowl this season? Hell no. Hell no. Not even. In fact, I'll take 10 more seasons of the Dolphins not making the playoffs if it means the Panthers could win a third straight cup. Hell no. There's already Leaf fans saying that we're cheating because Chucky needs surgery. It's like, come on, man. Come on. Everybody knows the dude was hurt. David's, congratulations, brother. Day 6. Very good. Yeah, Meadow, can we skip our annual Western Canada trip? I know. Everybody's going to get sick. So, Vincent, you think last year was the challenge? It should be a bit easier this time around, inching to correct balance. I mean, maybe. Like, what are the odds we lose every game to Montreal again? I'd love to see that, Frank. He says, let's just put everyone on LTIR when the meaningless Olympic kickoff starts, right? Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea at all. What do you got on garage sale? I mean, when am I going to have a garage sale, Vincent? Or what do I have to sell? Well, the what I have to sell, remember the ex that just up and left and didn't take her shit with her for the most part? Great White wants to know everything Martian will retire as a Bruin or a Panther. I would hope Panthers. Like, that contract's kind of untradeable, right? Right? I think Panthers. Mike says, I think that would depend on how many titles he wins with the Panthers. Exactly, Vincent. Yeah, the ESPYs are tonight. I'm going to be live on the men's channel tonight. I'll be live at 8 o'clock on the men's channel tonight. Oh, Seattle, Vancouver, yeah. Those are some late games. Those are Kyle's favorite. I used to get really tired for them, but now I'm like wired all night anyway. Well, you know, when I spent those months sleeping with Fluffy on the floor and I wasn't getting any sleep at all because he was up all night, my body's never returned to normal. So now like 8, 9 o'clock at night, like I used to go to bed like 9 o'clock at night and try to get an hour's sleep before he needed to go outside because it was too hot for him during the day because it took him so long to get out there. And my body's just never stopped. So like now every night, 8, 9 o'clock, I'm wired. And I'm up till 12, 1. I just can't get back to normal. Yeah, if he wins 3 or 4 cups, or he has to go as a Panther. I would agree there. Sean says, anything we should look for in the schedule as a win or something of concern? Well, the back-to-backs, right? You know, how many 3 out of 4s do we have? Remember last year we had a bunch of back-to-backs where the first game was on the road and the second game was at home. Hopefully we can limit those this time. ESPN is skewed towards the WNBA. Yikes. So what are we? We got about 10 minutes. Well, Colin says, hopefully they can play the Stars later in the season. Last year was a lot of home and home. Yeah, it was crazy, right? Kenny says, I got a blue and yellow Chargers hat. Wasn't crazy on the yellow when I got it, but you still bought it. The old Chargers colors, of course, I'm colorblind. But I like the old Chargers colors. Jameson says, sometimes Panthers do a Canada Western road trip earlier in the season, like end of October. Yeah, it's usually then or like mid-January. And it's the bad one, mid-January. So, and that's when Barkov gets sick. I don't know what he's doing, but he always gets sick on that trip every year. And then remember, we always get like shut out like 3 to 4 games. And then they come back and we find out, oh, Barkov was sick. And you got everybody else sick. It's been like 3 straight years now with that. Now, hopefully they institute my suggestion, which means I know they'll never do it. But I hope that they give some guys some nights off randomly, here and there. Vincent, so the Panthers are purple to me? No, it's not like that. I can see colors. They just look different to me than a lot of guys are blue, red, green, colorblind. I'm all of the colorblind. Kenny says, does he eat a bad fish in Seattle every time? That's interesting. Yeah, maybe he's picking it up at one of the stops. Yeah, exactly, Vincent. David says, can we panic now over any losing streaks just to get over it? Well, all of the losing, we can panic now except for the one around Kyle's birthday. We have to blame that on Kyle. That's Kyle's birthday is St. Patrick's Day, so we have to blame that one, on Kyle. Now I don't know if he's going anywhere this year. Don't know. But the couple of times he went to Florida, as soon as Ellie died while he was gone, and then the other 2 times she started losing. "10 years of terror with Jaws hockey. Don't go back in the on the ice." Hungry? No. I don't. It's not that way anymore. I don't know if that's a requirement now. But it's not that. It wasn't that way when I got in. They knew I was colorblind. My depth perception was bad. I went in, I was supposed to possibly be a pilot. But then by the time we got to the end there, I took the eye test and my depth perception was so bad that I couldn't. They might have changed it. Like March 16th? Yeah, so you're a day before Kyle. Yeah. That's okay. He was up, that poor kid. His sleep schedule is just it is what it is. I can't get it. He's tried to change his sleep schedule. And if he ever finally gets up at like 8 o'clock in the morning, for like a week after that, he's just completely useless until he gets back on his normal schedule of staying up till 3 and not getting up till noon or 1. Mando, am I disappointed in losing Schmidt? I know you can't keep everyone. Well, I'm happy he got paid, right? I'm happy he got paid. I hate to lose him, right? I do wonder if we weren't going to sign Marchand, if Schmidt would have stayed, right? But, considering, like you said, you can't keep everybody. He was such a fun guy, though. And, we got the same haircut. We got the same haircut. So, but good for him, right? Good for him, getting paid, get a couple of bucks, right? So let's see here. What time are we looking at here? We're at 12:50 something here, right? What are we at? 12:56. I'll just keep refreshing the Panthers page here, and then once the Panthers get it up, I'll share the screen. Okay. Zuma says in the next 5 years, you take 3 more cups and no Super Bowls for the Dolphins, or 1 Super Bowl for the Dolphins and only 1 cup for the Cats. Yeah, that's easy. I had to read it again to make sure, but yeah, Panthers. Panthers. 3 more cups and no Super Bowls for the Dolphins, so 1 Super Bowl for the Dolphins and only 1 more cup for the Cats. Easy. That's easy. I like the Panthers players. You know what I mean? They're likable. The coach is likable. General manager is likable. The owner is like, let's go have a beer. Likable. The Dolphins, Tua's kind of a crab ass. Greer's not a nice guy. Ross doesn't even know what zip code he's in half the time. If you hang out with Tyreek, you're likely to get arrested. Like there's nobody in the Dolphins that you think, and I'm sure there's guys that are good guys, but there's no personalities on that team that you think, hey, yeah, I want to hang out with him. Like the main dude with a personality is Tyreek, and you're going to get arrested hanging out with him. Yeah, exactly. Phrasing. Hey, Anthony, is there a hockey player I think would do well in pro wrestling? The dude that just won, that kicked that dude's ass on the golf course. What the hell was his name? He might have been okay. He might have done okay, right? What the hell was his name? Yeah, the guy that just beat that guy's ass on the golf course. David says, yeah, 3 more cups in a row puts Panthers way, way, way up there. Exactly. Yeah. He says, I believe in the 3-peat. Do you? I hope it's Cat versus Golden Knights round 2. I do. The challenge is going to be, as a fan, making sure that we don't overreact, underreact, you know what I mean, during the year to the ups and downs. So, yeah, that's definitely going to be a challenge. Mike says, if the Cats win 3 more cups in a row, not only will I continue to not, I lost it. Give any respect to the original 6 teams, I'll start to voice it very loudly to them. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Great White. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Great White. I'll make a post about it. So I'm not sure if the show's going to be tomorrow night or if it's going to be the noon one. Probably tomorrow night because I don't know if we're going to get to the auction or not. It's most likely to be tomorrow night. If it's tomorrow night, it'll be 8, but we'll still do a noon stream. Maybe, possibly. I'll make a post. I got to make that decision this afternoon, but I'll make a post. All right, let's see. We're closing. It's 1 o'clock. Let's see. Let's see if they've done it yet. I'm just refreshing the page now. All right. Let's see here. Can I see it without my glasses? Do I need the glasses on? Nothing yet. Come on, NHL. It's 1 o'clock. Let's go. See, I'm already complaining. I'm already practicing complaining. So I just keep refreshing the page. We'll wait. NHL going to be like Jaws 3 minutes late. Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Good point. Come on, guys. Let me back out. Let me back out and see if that makes any difference. My eyes were so bad. Yeah, we know the preseason. Nope, nothing here yet. Nothing here yet. Hungry says, what's the over-under on how many home and away back-to-backs we're getting? Colby set it up above at 15.5. Colby set it up above at 15.5. All right. Nothing. God dang it. Yeah, they're gonna pull a Jaws and be 3 minutes late. Come on, guys. Huh? We're already at 2 minutes. They're trolling me. I mean, the Panthers website would have it. They would have it ready to just post, right? Right? They know the schedule. They would have it ready to just add it to the website and post, right? Let's see. Did we get to it yet? No. God dang it. All right, come back. Hey, Jari, how you doing, bud? David says, I think the Habs won 5 in a row, but in the 50s, there were only like 8 teams. Islanders won 4 in a row, but it was when the Russian mob controlled a lot of hockey. Yeah, I can see I'm going to have to put my glasses on to read this, but we'll wait. La-da-da-ding. What is that, 103 now? Nothing. All right. Well, we'll uh-oh. What the hell happened to my internet? Uh-oh. Hold on a second. That was weird. See if it comes back there. There we go. Okay, we should be better now. Yeah, I'm messing with the laptop too much, so the Ethernet cord moved on me. I got to get a more secure port there, or a better cord. Still nothing. Oh, there it goes again. I see. Because every time no, this should not be happening. God dang it. Like the cord is in there. Come on. So I'm going to have to be a little bit more gentle with this, I see. All right, I got to get a new Ethernet cord. I have a good one. I don't have it connected because I still hadn't finished with everything I did with moving everything from Breeze line. So we'll just have to be gentle with it here. So far, nothing. So far, nothing. Mike says there's only 6 teams in the 50s. They didn't change until 67. Come on, NHL. We're all here for one reason, and it ain't to talk to me. Nothing. I mean, they would have it already ready, right? They're not like sitting there like typing it out, like, right? Panthers. I mean, it's the NHL site. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, what are we at? 106 now? Nothing. Terry Sawchuk scars. All right. Why not, since we're here? Since we're here, Holy crap. Yikes. God. Whew. Yeah, no, I can't even show that on YouTube. I can't even show that on YouTube. Holy crap. That's a piece of work right there. No thanks. Wear a mask. All right. Yeah, hockey, he played hockey. He was a goalie before they wore masks, right? Hungry, yeah, they're milking it for all it's worth. They're going on puck drop time. Yeah, come on, guys. I had a feeling they would do this. That's why I didn't start till 12:30, but we're all sitting here ready. I'll just keep refreshing the page. I was sitting, waiting, wishing. Nothing. Well, damn it. How long do we wait? 107. Like, how long do we wait here, NHL? Come on. I mean, literally, one job. Why tell us it's coming out at 1 o'clock if it ain't out at 1 o'clock? Nothing. They got to sing both anthems before they release the schedule. That's funny. That's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. Nothing. I mean, are we going to be sitting here till 1:30 and they don't have it out yet? Let's see. See if it's on the. Oh, is this? No, that's 24-25. I went to the printable schedule and thought maybe it was there, but that's last year's schedule. So maybe we got lucky. Colin, so how are people getting the schedule? He says can confirm that October 21st is Brad's return to Boston. So what? I mean, where are they releasing it piecemeal? There's the Sabres one announced. Let's see. Oh, we got it. We got it. Okay. We got it. Let me share the page. Yep, it's out. Let me get to it. All right. Let me share the page. Here we go. Okay. All right. So we got it good. Yeah, we're good. Okay, here we go. So we open up. We already know. On the 7th, Tuesday, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Hey, we got a homestand to open things up so we don't immediately go on the road. So then Thursday against the Flyers. Saturday at 7 against the Senators. And what's that? Monday, the 13th again. So we go on the road. So Flyers, Wings, Devils, Wings and Devils are back-to-back. Then we got the Sabres on the 18th. Got 2 days off. We're still at home. No, excuse me. We're still on the road. And then at Boston on the 21st. So that's the Marchand game. So far, this is not easy peasy, but nothing crazy. Then we're back at home on the 23rd against the Penguins. 25th against Vegas. We get 2 days off. And then, what's that? The Ducks. That's the Ducks. This is the last game of October on the 28th. Going into November. So we play November 1st. We got a few days off. We're still at home. We play Dallas. Boy, the back end schedule is not going to be pretty. How are we fitting all these games in? So we got Dallas at home Saturday, 6 o'clock. Hey, there we go. We're going out west. So we got the Ducks, Kings, Sharks, and Knights, but no back-to-backs. Okay. They give us 2 nights off. The back end of this schedule must be hyper-condensed. They give us 2 nights off. Then we're back at home on November 13th against the Capitals, 15th Lightning, 17th Canucks, 2 days off. 20th, the Devils, 22nd against the Oilers. Then we have 1 road game, November 24th against the Preds. Then we're back home again for the Flyers and Flames. And so far, we are now through November, and I believe we've only had 1 back-to-back. We've only got 1 back-to-back through the first 2 months of the season, which makes me I can't imagine what the back end of this season is going to look like. Let's go to December. Let's see what we got. All right, so we start off December at home against the Leafs on the 2nd. We got the Preds on the 4th, Columbus on the 6th, and then the Islanders on the 7th at 5 o'clock. The Saturday game against Columbus is at 3:30, and the Sunday game is at 5 o'clock against the Islanders. So I'll have to see what the Dolphins' schedule is there. Then we got 2 days off again before going on the road. We finally have another back-to-back. That's the Mammoth. I was wondering what the hell that is. That's the Mammoth. And then the Avs. So back-to-back, 10th and 11th. Night off. The 13th are at Dallas. Then we come back home on the 15th. Home, Tampa. We're on the road against Tampa, but we're back in Florida. Then we have, the back end of this schedule. So the 17th, we're at home against the Kings. Then the 19th and 20th, we got the Canes and Blues. 2 days off again. 1 road game against Carolina. Then the 3 days off for Christmas. And then we finally have 3 games in 4 days where we've got a home game on the 27th against the Lightning. And then that Monday and Tuesday, we got the Capitals and Canadiens. So far, this schedule is Diet Coke with vanilla ice cream. Like, I can't even find something to complain about yet, which scares me. I can't imagine what the end of this schedule is like. We get to January 2nd. We've got the Rangers in New York, 8 o'clock. And then we're home on Sunday, January 4th at 5 o'clock against the Avalanche. And I'm fairly certain that's going to coincide with the last Dolphin game of the year. I think that's when we probably play the Patriots that day. Then we're back on the road against Toronto on January 6th. Montreal for the first time January 8th. Then Ottawa on the 10th. Buffalo on the 12th. We have 3 days off. We're still on the road. And we play the Canes and Capitals back-to-back. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 road games in 12 days. That's not that bad. There's one back-to-back there, and the travel is not. This is such an easy schedule so far, travel-wise and back-to-back-wise. So then we come back home. We've got the Sharks on the 19th, Monday night. 2 days off on the road against Winnipeg. On Thursday, on the road. I guess that's, yeah, so we got a back-to-back Sabres or Preds. No, that's the Wild, excuse me. My eyes are so bad. So we got back-to-back. 24th is the Wild, and the 25th, again, another Sunday game in January. So that's going to conflict with Kyle and I streaming playoff games, of course. It gets a little wonky here because now we get a little bit of home back and forth. So we got those 3 road games. Then we're home for 1 game against the Mammoth on the 27th. Back on the road on the 29th against St. Louis. Back home on the 31st against Winnipeg. So still only 1 set of back-to-backs. This schedule is so light right now. So we get to March, and that shouldn't be very heavy. February. February the 2nd at home against the Sabres. At home against Boston on the 4th, and then on the road against Tampa. So it's a back-to-back, but it's just to go to Tampa. And then we are off for the Olympics from the 6th until the 26th. And we start with the back-to-back, of course, at home against the Leafs and the Sabres. Then we get to March. It's got to be ugly, right? Oh, yeah, March is interesting. But it's not so bad. So Sunday, March 1st at 4 o'clock, the Islanders. On the 3rd, we got the Devils. Then on the 5th and 6th, we play the Jackets and Wings. But then we got 3 days off until the next day game, which is on the 10th at home against the Wings. Then the 12th against Columbus. We get another 2 days off. And we go on the road. So we got the Kraken on the 15th, Vancouver on the 17th, and then Edmonton and Calgary on the 19th and 20th. So, but then we got 3 days off again. I mean, almost every time we've had a back-to-back, we've had 2 or 3 days off immediately following it. This is a really good schedule. Like, you couldn't have dreamed up a better schedule than this so far. So then we're at home again, Seattle on the 24th, Wild on the 26th, the Islanders on the road on the 28th, and the Rangers, 2 1 o'clock games. Saturday against the Islanders, Sunday against the Rangers. We get a day off, and then we're home for Ottawa on the 31st of March. And then we get into April, and we've got Boston at home on the 2nd. We've got a long road trip, but it's not all that bad. Pittsburgh Saturday, Pittsburgh Sunday. We got a back-to-back against the Penguins on Saturday and Sunday, 2 games in a row on the road. Then we have Montreal on the 7th, Ottawa on the 9th, Toronto on the 11th. And then we finish the 13th against the Rangers at home, and then the 15th against the Wings at home. And that's it. Let me check out what you guys, that was, I don't know about you all, but I mean, I'm not going to go through and do a record prediction right now. I think I want to make a separate video for that. But I mean, I don't know about what you guys feel, but that was way easier. Hey, thank you, Jameson. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated, bud. Cats, Canucks in Vancouver for Kyle's birthday. Is that right? Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I didn't even think about it. Kyle's birthday. Yeah. Oh, very cool. Oh, he's going to love that. He's going to love doing the late game on his birthday. I'm going to have to give him that one off. 58 says, that sounds fake. Now release the real schedule. Right? I mean, so I'm going to go back to the beginning and we'll count the back-to-backs. Let's just go back to the beginning and we'll count the back-to-backs. Colby, way under. So, 1, I'm into December now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 back-to-backs. 9 back-to-backs. And of those back-to-backs, so we've got 1 game after the back-to-back in October. There are no back-to-backs in November. In December, we have 1 game after a back-to-back, or one day off after a back-to-back, 2 days off after a back-to-back, and then let's see, another 2 days off after a back-to-back. In January, we got 1 day off after a back-to-back. February, we got a back-to-back, but then that leads right into the All-Star break. We have a back-to-back 26th, 27th, but don't play again until Sunday the 1st. So that's a couple of games. That's a couple of few days off. And then the back-to-back we have 3 days off after our back-to-back in March. And then in April, there are no back-to-backs. Wow. That is really so much better than I thought it was going to be. That is so, and if it's better, I mean, it was so much better than I thought it was going to be. Holy crap. Yeah, blame Barkov or Kyle for losing in Vancouver. Yeah, both. A little bit of both, right, Kenneth? Well, damn. Well, there it is. We got nothing to complain about. Like nothing like this year's. And that's a solid 3 weeks off for the Olympics. So it's a shame we got so many guys going. Scientist says, looks like the league really wants the three-peat, right? Oh, yeah, which is the Winter Classic is a night game, right? Yeah. So, wow. I did not see that coming. I mean, we all know last year was crazy. I mean, we get to December, we've only played 1 back-to-back at that point. So, Mano says, I heard Kachuk's going to be out for a while at the beginning of the season. Yeah, that would be the assumption. Ryan says, I'm seeing Ottawa in October. I'm done seeing all the Eastern Conference teams. Very cool. Mythical says, Eggplant's still going to need a mini vacation during the season. Yeah, once Chucky is going to come back, Eggplant can just twist his ankle and be out to the playoffs. So you don't have to move anybody cap-wise. Wow. I did not anticipate that being – yeah, now Pomo can't poke fun at the insane schedule, right? Damn. Wait till Kyle finds out. Oh, so let me look and see. Yeah, we won't see Tarasov that much. Let me look and see the Dolphins schedule. How many games do I have conflict here? Let's see. When do the Panthers first play? Oh, but you know what? There's some Thursday nights too. Damn it. I got to check this now. I always like to know. Always like to know. Because we play October. What is this? This is last year's. October 24. What are you doing? Huh? 25. October. There we go. So we play all the Thursdays in October. And I know the Dolphins has some Thursday night games. I don't know about, let's see. 1, 1, 1. Okay, so there's nothing. And yeah, let's see. Thursday, October 30th. No, Panthers don't play. So there's no conflicts through October. What about November? November 6, 13, 20. Let's see. 6, 13, 20. No. Do we play on Sundays in November? No. Am I going to get out of this with no conflicting games? December 7th. You bastards. Damn it. So the Jets game is at 1 o'clock. The Dolphins-Jets game is 1 o'clock. The Panther game is at 5. I don't get a conflict. So we're good there. We can do both games, no problem. Do we play any more Thursday night games? No. When we get into December, Monday night the 15th. Monday night the 5th. Ah, damn it. I almost got out of it. So the Panthers play the Lightning on the 15th at 7 o'clock, and the stinking Dolphins have a Monday night game against the Steelers. Damn, so I got almost out of the whole season. Without having a conflict. And then, of course, there's the possible conflict where the Panthers play the Avalanche at home 5 o'clock on January 4th. And that is a Dolphin game against the Patriots, but it's to be determined. So maybe I'll only have that one Monday night game that's a conflict. So I'll have to figure that out. Dang it. All right, David. Appreciate you, bud. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. 13 back-to-backs. Let me see. I'll count them again. Let's count them again. In October, we have 1. In October, we have 1. In November, none. There are no back-to-backs in November. None. December, we got 2, 3, 4. Right? 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at 5. Okay, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. January 6, 7. I see where I missed some. So there's 7. February is 8, 9. March is 10, 11, 12. And then April is 13. You're right, 13. Yeah. It's a little funky because, like, one of the back-to-backs leads right up into the Olympic break, and then one of them is right after the Olympic break. So while they are back-to-backs, they're not really – it's not a hardship. You know what I mean? And we don't have – I remember last year we had multiple back-to-backs. Have any of those this year? And one of the back-to-backs is 2 games in a row on the weekend against the Penguins in Pittsburgh. So there's no travel. So, I mean, compared to last year, it's way, way, way easier. Yeah. Yeah. So like, and when you take into consideration the days off we had, so like, I mean, April is full, but that's fine. But the one back-to-back in April is Pittsburgh on the 4th and the 5th, right? And then Montreal 2 days later, Ottawa, Toronto. When you get to March, we have a back-to-back against Columbus and Detroit on the road, but then we got 3 days off until the next game. You see what I'm saying? We got another back-to-back, Islanders and the Rangers. So travel, basically nothing. You see what I'm saying? Then we get into February. We got the back-to-back on the 4th and the 5th. That is a home and away, but it's Boston at home at Tampa. So just no travel. And then that's the Olympic break. And then we come out of the Olympic break with 2 games in a row at home against Toronto and then Buffalo the next night. So those are hardly back. You know what I mean? They're not real, technically they're back-to-backs, but they don't have the same effect. January, we do have a back-to-back against the Canes and Capitals on the 16th and 17th, but that's preceded by 3 days in a row off. So again, the wear and tear is nothing like it. And it does get a little tight towards the end of that month. We played the 22nd, 24th, 25th, 27th, 29th, 31st. The end of January is definitely a little bit wonky with road at home. That's probably one of the toughest stretches of the season. December, we have a home back-to-back against the Canes and Islanders, and then we got 2 days off after that. We have another home back-to-back later that month against the Canes and Blues. Then we got 2 days off after that. We've got a home back-to-back against the Capitals in Montreal, but then we've got 2 days off after that. And then in November, there's no back-to-backs. There's no back-to-backs in November. And then the only other one we have is in October. And that's Wings, Devils 15th, 16th, and then we play Buffalo on the 18th. We have 2 days off, and then we're at Boston. So I'm thrilled with that schedule comparatively. I'm thrilled with that. Absolutely. A little bit, Anthony. You got to look at it from the Canadian side. Look at it from, if you're a fan of hockey in Canada. The Canadiens won in 93. Then Patrick Waugh got traded to the Avalanche, and they beat the Panthers in 96. The Avalanche had just moved from Quebec the year before. So that was their first year as the Avalanche. So, Canada kind of got trolled a little bit, and they haven't won since. So I get it a little bit. Scientists, yeah, nowhere near as tight. Right. Meadow says the camera's like the peephole from Cable Guy. Yeah. Yeah, scientists, almost all the back-to-backs in with at least a few days off. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna be streaming the Olympics for sure. Yeah. All right, everybody, I'm gonna roll. I will be live tonight on the men's channel at 8:00. This was good. This is a good schedule. I'll probably put a video out talking about it, or maybe I'll take a cut. Take a cut from this. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Appreciate all the love and support, all super chats. I'll put a post out. I'll be live tonight, 8 o'clock on the men's channel, and then I'll let you guys know. I think tomorrow night we'll probably be here for the package opening. We'll probably do that as well. So, all right, everybody, go enjoy the rest of your day. I shall see you tonight.